Hi, I'm Raghavan, Europe's original starting strength coach. So today I want to talk about barbell progression because I think it's very important to introduce weightlifting and make it feel approachable. And this is going to be with iron plates. So those of you who are in a franchise gym, there is no excuse because I'm going to show you how to do it with iron plates. And I think it's just a fun thing to introduce, and it's fast and it's part of your deadlift warm-up. Your coaches are trained to teach you these lifts, so it gives them a job to do, and it's just something a little bit more fun than just warming up with an empty bar. So yeah, here's our warm-up progressions for weightlifting. So I'm gonna start with a really basic variation, which is like a hang snatch. So for the case of this video, this isn't a tutorial video to teach you how to do snatches, right? We've got plenty of those. Josh and Rip have done plenty snatch videos, power snatch, power cleans, and you can even throw in the push jerk. That's one of my favorites. You can split jerk after the clean, but just for this video, it's gonna be hang snatch, power clean, and then we're gonna work straight into deadlifts, and I'm gonna work up to something kind of heavy, so you get an idea of that. So, literally, I'm cold, so here we are with the bar, finding my grip, pulling it in. I'm just gonna bring it down to the hang I'm gonna work on today, which is just at the knee. Again, this is one of those places we've used before in like pause snatch videos with Josh. So from here, I'm gonna go from here. I already feel pretty warm. 3 reps on the snatch gets you blowing. Usually I wear a sweatband when I start doing weightlifting because it gets really, really warm. And for me today, I'm just gonna grab the quarters. Rusty tells me this is 85 pounds. 95. See, my bar math is not very good. Again, this is iron plates, right? If you want to clip this, you can clip this. Again, if you're new to weightlifting, completely fine, right? But again, for me, this is light. And for the purposes of this video, I'm just stacking weights on and off. So here we go. Gonna hook grip this one. Might just do doubles because I'm a bitch. And that's your first intro to hang power snatch. For most of you, 95 pounds is all you're gonna do, and that's okay. And then we can start with our progressions on the power clean. So that was 95 pounds. I generally do feel warm. I literally just did one set of triple with the bar, and then 95 pounds. I can already feel I'm warming up. So now we're gonna move to a power clean. I'm literally, again, this isn't a tutorial on how to break down all these lifts. This is just a way to kind of implement it and make it a smooth transition because you've already been taught by your coach how to hang snatch and clean. So this is just a no nonsense approach of how to work it in. We can use clips. Again, if you want to do a variation of hang clean with the last weight you did a hang snatch, you could do that. But again, for this variation, I'm just going to go from the floor. See how I lowered down these weights? There you go. I'll just do one more. Definitely feeling warm now. There you go. that's pretty much how it goes with weightlifting. A triple there. I've had an exposure to the lifts. Like I said, if you want to get a little bit more into Olympic lifts, you could even add a push jerk or a split jerk on top of that. But after this, I'm going to go straight into deadlift. So again, this is primarily just a feeler, because with weightlifting, it's about frequency and exposure to the lifts. Rip has said this, and it makes so much sense. But most of the time, people's defective excuse is they don't want to do the Olympic lifts because they want their deadlift to get stronger, or they're not familiar with the lifts. Well, here's the excuse, right? You don't have to be perfect, because guess what? All your other lifts are probably going to be shit and you don't know what you're doing anyway. So you're going to have knee slide in your squat. Your hips are going to be too low in the deadlift. Your press, your bar path is going to be all over the shop. So you might as well expose yourself to these lifts, because you're learning all these lifts. You're not perfect or great at any of them. We just want to be good and get progress and get better. So again, this is just a nice way to approach the lifts. Not feel like you have to carve out a huge amount of time to do snatch, clean and jerk. Just do a couple of reps and then boom, back into deadlift. So a cool tip that me and Josh were talking about in Houston KE is grip progressions. So especially when you get stronger and you start playing around with heavier deadlifts, sometimes this goes forgotten in terms of training practice. So a good practice to try and get into is try and do as many warm-up sets double overhand, which is kind of how we teach the deadlift to start with. But then as you progress to other grips, you then just forget about double overhand. So for today, again, after the hang snatch and the power cleans, I'm just going to do a couple of sets of double overhand. Feels fine. I'm probably going to easily go up to 3 plates. 4 plates with double overhand is when I know it's going to be a good day, which it probably won't be. So usually 315 to, is it 385, Rusty? Is that 3 1/4? 3 1/4? Yeah.
What is it?
Is it 385 or 3 or 3? Is it 355?
355?
I always get lost.
3 1/4? Oh, three plates.
Plate math.
Okay. Excuse me. That would be 365.
Yeah. So usually for me personally, 3 to 3 1/4 plates would kind of be where my double overhand gets tough. 405 is a good day for me. But again, your strength level is wherever. If you can't do a really heavy weight, it's just more a case of in your warm-ups, a good way to try and push the progress is maybe even just add 5 pounds, 2.5 kilos, and just try and make some progress there, because then you know all your grips are getting stronger. Double overhand again. Feels good. I'll do 3 1/4. You'll notice I only did 1 rep. Again, if you're keeping up, you know, I just did a couple of hang snatches, a couple of power cleans. I'm pretty warm. So on deadlifts, again, as you get more advanced, you don't necessarily need to do a ton of reps in your warm-ups. You need to make sure you're getting all the basics right. Midfoot, shins to the bar, grip, all that jazz, right? We're just trying to get our body feeling the weight and we're just challenging that grip a little bit. So this will probably be the number where I'll probably call it a day on double overhand, and then I'll switch to the next grip. Just barely made that one. So 3 1/4. Now I'm going to move to 405. So now I'm probably going to use hook grip. Again, for weightlifting purposes, hook grip is essential. You definitely want to get good at hook grip because that's the main grip you're going to be weightlifting with. It's a great grip at rotating the elbows in the catch for the snatch and the clean. So might even chalk my hands a little bit. So if I'm really pushing the weightlifting stuff, I might even use some tape, some athletic tape around my thumbs. I had an old accident where I ripped my thumbnail off. So this thumb is always a little bit more tender with the hook grip, but it is what it is. Hook grip now. Feels good. I'll move to the next plate. Is that 495? The next plate?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Plate math is not my strong point in America. So put another plate on. So from here, this is where I personally would probably do mixed grip. Again, everyone's strengths might be different. Some people might have a really good hook grip and that's your main deadlift. I'm jealous. I wish I had a better hook grip. I probably should take my own advice. But yeah, once it gets past 405, you tend to switch. As you can see, I'm sweating right now. So this warm-up does work. I love this gym, man. You're so jealous. Old York plates. Gorgeous.
Got a lot of people strong.
So yeah, I guess from my training background, I guess I've just had more experience of doing the mixed, and I'm more of an advocate of trying to push as many people to do hook. There's some issues with the mixed. I think sometimes it gets blown out of proportion with injuries that can happen, because injuries can happen, right? It's just a matter of training and pushing yourself. But I think hook grip can be your main grip. But for me, my mixed has always been my stronger grip. So there you go. That felt pretty good. Now, if I add a quarter, what is that? 545, and then a plate will be yeah. So I'll do another plate jump, and that's going to be my last one for today. And that is going to be done with straps. So again, as you get more advanced, Rip has talked about this many times on film, is as you get more advanced in the deadlift, usually the big training factor as you get past 500 pounds, when you're getting to 600, which is where I'm at, and then beyond to 700 pounds. The factor which really needs to be developed is your back. So yes, you still need to develop grip strength, because then when you go out to do a heavy single or a heavy set 5, you still want to be able to hold it, whether that's hook or mixed. That goes without saying. But from a training capacity, your back needs to get developed. And if that's the determining factor that needs to get stronger, straps are really good at that. That's why we use them on rack pull, because we don't want the grip to blow out on rack pulls. So the same here. Once I get to like 585, this is when I would start putting on a straps. And yeah. Yes, I am very warm. I want a big plate, boy. Not messing around. So just for context, I did a little mock meet, strength lifting style meet on the weekend just past. So I pulled 600 with mixed grip. But again, from a training perspective, I don't always want to pull 6 every day because it's too stressful. And like I say, the stress needs to be on my back, not my grip, to make training effective. Here it is, 585. So I think in kilos, if I got it wrong or not, I think this is like 265 kilos, there and abouts. Usually I could use a belt for this kind of weight, but I'm gonna challenge myself and do straps beltless. So, got me some new straps. Shout out to Rachel Crawford. Thank you for getting me these. So, here we go. Again, this isn't a tutorial of how to use straps. This is just me working through from hang snatch all the way to 585. There you go. Job done. So here we are. As you can see, pretty warm. So no excuses. As you can see, you know, I've got a very developed and trained deadlift, right? But that doesn't mean you have to feel ashamed that you're hang snatching 95 pounds and that you're then doing some cleans with 135. It's just exposure to the lifts. The more frequency and the more time you approach them, it's gonna feel less daunting, because weightlifting's fun, and coaches and lifters in all gyms using iron plates have no excuses.